Okay, I think we're down to our last video. All right, if I want to find the opposite of a number, that just means that I change the sign. So the opposite deals with the sign. So the opposite of 8 is -8. The reciprocal means that you flip it. So this is 1/8. Okay, if I want to write this in exponential form, well, 8 times 8 times 8 gives me 8 to the third. X times x, the shortcut is x to the second. Okay, so let's look at each expression. This deals with exponents, which include radicals. All right, 4 to the 3, of course, means 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. Now, I want you to notice this. -4 to the third is the opposite of 4 times 4 times 4, which is -64. But -4 to the third is -4 times -4 times -4, which is still -64. Now here's where it makes a difference. So -6 to the second is -6 times -6, which is a positive 36. The opposite of 6 squared is the opposite of 6 times 6, which is negative 36. Okay, the square root of 121. Well, 121, this is the square root of 11 times 11, which just gives you 11. The square root of -21 is not defined in the real numbers. There is no number times itself that equals a negative number. Okay, I'm looking for the number multiplied times itself 3 times that equals 8, so this is actually the cube root of 2 times 2 times 2, which is 2. Now again, notice the difference here. The cube root of -8, well, I'm looking for the number multiplied times itself 3 times that is -8. So I'm looking for the cube root. This can be -2 times -2 times -2. So the answer is just -2. Okay, and our last little bit here is going to be looking at order of operations. So this is really just a lot of detail. You just have to take your time and be careful. Okay, so if I want to do this, the first thing I have to start with is this in here. I have to do what's inside the parentheses. So this becomes 2 minus 3 times 6 to the second. Okay. From here, I've done my parentheses, so now I need to do my exponent. So this becomes 2 minus 3 times 36. From here, I have to do my multiplication. So this becomes 2 minus 106, 108, excuse me, I jumped to the answer, which just gives me -106. Okay, if I'm looking at this, the first thing I want to do is simplify what's inside the absolute value because that's a grouping symbol. So this becomes 4 times the absolute value of -4 divided by 2 plus 5. Well, I still have to simplify this. So this becomes 4 times, and the absolute value of -4 is 4, divided by 2 plus 5. And now I have to do my multiplication. So that gives me 16 divided by 2 plus 5. Now I do my division. So that gives me 8 plus 5, which finally results in 13. Okay, on this one, I've got division here. This tells me that I have to do everything in the numerator, everything in the denominator, and then do the division. Okay, so for my numerator, I do simplify inside the parentheses, so this becomes 6 divided by 3 times 5. Now I have to do my division. So 6 divided by 3 is 2 times 5. So my numerator is 10. So when I'm playing with my answer down here, I know my numerator is 10. My denominator, I have to simplify what's inside the parentheses. So this becomes -1 to the second. So this is -1 times -1, which is 1. So my denominator becomes 1. So this just becomes 10. And on our last problem, yay! All right, what do I have to do first? I have to do inside the parentheses first. So this becomes -3 to the second times -4 minus 2 times 4 to the second. Okay, so I've done that. So now I have to do my exponents before I do my multiplication. So I've got to deal with my exponents. So -3 to the second is the opposite of 3 times 3. So that gives me -9 times -4 minus 2, and 4 times 4 is 16. Now I can do my multiplication. So -9 times -4 is 36. And then I subtract. 2 times 16 is 32. And that gives me 4. Okay, the end. Good luck, everyone.